Hey guys, welcome to today's video. We're gonna take a look at the cost of my makeup. I have the products that are like my go-to when I'm getting ready. It's the stuff that stays in the bathroom in the morning before work. It's what I throw on my face and I go, like my go-to makeup products. And I saw Lauren May Beauty do this video, so I will have her linked down below, where she shared the cost of her like full face of makeup. And that's what we're gonna dive into today. So if you are interested to see how expensive my face is, let's go ahead and jump in. But first, if you're new, hello and welcome. My name is Kelly and I love all things makeup and beauty. I love talking, I love makeup, I love talking about makeup. So if you like to chat about makeup too, I would love to have you subscribe and hang out. This is the place for you. But let's go ahead. I'm gonna zoom you in and we're gonna get ready. I don't know that I can really say that I'm like excited for this video because I'm going to be exposing myself the cost of like my daily face, and yeah, I already calculated it and it's a lot, y'all. It's a lot. We're gonna go ahead and get started. I'm gonna show you the makeup products as I use them and how I use them, how I apply them. First up, my Glow Recipe Niacinamide Dew Drops. These retail for $35. I get mine at Sephora. I love this. I do have dry skin, and so I love this for my dry skin. I feel like it's super hydrating, and the more hydrated and dewy my face is, the better my makeup sits on it. But I do know that my friend Heather Austin has an oily skin type and she still loves these dew drops. It is like a serum texture, so it's not oily. It does soak into the skin nicely, but niacinamide is brightening and my skin just drinks it up. I like to kind of let that soak in for a minute. So typically when I'm getting ready in the morning, I'll wash my face, I'll put all my skincare on, I get dressed, I apply my serum, then I go ahead and I let that set for a minute. I'll walk around, start getting my things together for work. After it's had a chance to set, I like to go into my Tatcha Liquid Silk Canvas. I've tried the solid and the liquid. I remember liking the solid. It's been a couple years since I tried it. I remember I liked it, but I tried the silk canvas. I mean, it's all silk canvas. I tried the liquid because I heard that it was like better for dry skin, or that dry skinned lovers were enjoying the liquid version. So this I've actually repurchased. It's the mini size. It is $24 at Sephora. I want to say this is my second or third. I really like this product because I do feel like it's smoothing. I just take like probably about a pump, and what I'll do is I'll put it right here where my pores are a little bit larger, and I do have pretty deep set wrinkles in my forehead. I'm interested in trying Botox. I've never done it, but I'm very expressive by nature, and I just feel like my forehead could use some Botox, but I haven't done it yet. So I try to use that to like soak into these areas of my face that I'm hoping will be a little bit smoother. And it's a really great product. Again, it's like not too drying. I do not like silicone primers. The kind that, like the Milk Makeup one, what is it, the Hydro Grip? I did not like that. It had more of like a silicone texture. A lot of the Smashbox primers I didn't like. I just didn't like the slippery texture of it. This one feels like it is setting into my skin and my skin feels silky. So I'm a fan of that. Then I like to go in and color correct. I do have dark circles. I have two small children. My son is 18 months and he's still waking up during the night, but I just by nature have dark circles. I do think it's hereditary. So I like to do a little bit of color correcting. I like to color correct with my Sigma color corrector, which is $30. I do have a code, KBella. I will have this listed and linked down below. This was sent to me in PR. I did want to try it out, but this is the shade light to medium. And at the time when I wanted to purchase it, it was no longer, it was sold out on their website. And then they asked if they could send me a package and they sent this to me. When I am out of this, I will purchase it again. I love it. As you can see, I've hit pan on it. I just use my fingers. Typically, I'm not a huge fan of like using my fingers with makeup products, but I just put it on my ring finger and then I kind of press it in. And I like putting it on underneath my foundation just because I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't know why I do it. I just feel like it works better underneath. I don't know. I guess maybe I feel like it's like another base product for me. But I feel like it really does a good job of canceling out the darkness, and I just kind of keep it in this area right here. The other thing I like about it is I don't feel like it cakes up. So I will go in with like foundation and concealer, but I don't feel like it's too cakey. You know what I mean? And it just kind of soaks in. It brightens it up, but it also doesn't look artificial. Like I feel like if I went out of the house like this right now, I think it would be fine. You know what I mean? So I really love it. I will definitely repurchase that product. Worth every bit of the $30 for me. It's expensive, but worth it in my opinion. I forgot to calculate something. I forgot my MAC Fix Plus. Well, that just added $33 more. You will see me use MAC Fix Plus a lot. I like to use it for my eyeshadows. I like to use it on my damp beauty sponge. I am not including tools in this. I like to use it to set my face, and it's $33. So that just upped our total there. I thought about it because I'm going into foundation next, and I have the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation. It's to about right here. This is a repurchase for me. I do have the smaller size. The smaller size is $45. I want to say the larger size is like 60 something, and I did own the larger size before and I got halfway through it. But at the end of the day, I am a lover of makeup, right? I enjoy trying foundations. I have several foundations, but I want to use them up. The life of a foundation is like 12 months usually. I'm trying to see, yeah, 12 months usually. I use them for a little bit longer, not telling you to do it. I do it. So I want to be able to like use up my makeup and rotate through it. So that's why I like the smaller size, and it's $45. It is a little more than half a fluid ounce, 0.6 fluid ounces or 18 milliliters. This is my go-to. It's what I reach for time and time again. I love it. I don't feel like I wouldn't consider it personally a dewy foundation. It is luminous silk, and I do feel like it gives my skin like a silky finish and a little bit of luminosity mixed with my Glow recipe, but I don't feel like it's overly dewy or liquidy. Like you can see, it's not running down my hand. I've had foundations before, like the Pat McGrath. The Pat McGrath was a lighter coverage. This I would say is like medium buildable. But the Pat McGrath, when I would put it on my hand, it would like roll down my hand, and this does not. But also it feels really good on my dry skin. So again, apply it with my finger and go in with my MAC Fix Plus. I'm a beauty sponge girl through and through. This is my Singe beauty sponge, but we're not talking about the cost of my brushes. That would be a whole nother video in and of itself if we calculated that up. I filmed this reel on Instagram and I put it on as a short on here. You know, if you watch like TikTok, I mean, or I've even seen it like on Instagram, it's like the I'm a whatever, of course. Like I love the Enneagram. And so I've seen like the Enneagram ones, but I did like I'm a beauty content creator, of course. And I talked about my makeup brushes. That's where I was going with that. Of course I have more makeup brushes than any one person could ever need, ever. Because I've purchased a lot of them, but I've also had makeup brushes sent to me too. My forehead is like breaking out right now, and I don't even know why. Also, I'm wearing this headband because my hair needs to be washed. It has been raining down here in Houston, in Texas, and my hair has been real frizzy. I need to wash it, but I also have a little kid's birthday party today, so we went and watched my daughter's friend play basketball. And now we are getting ready for a birthday party. So there's that. So if you see, like I personally feel like my skin looks like skin. I mean, you can still see some of the redness and blemishes. I could go in, maybe we'll just do like a little tiny bit more. And what I'll do is just kind of put that where I feel like I could use a little bit more help. I personally enjoy more of like a light to medium coverage. I don't want super light, like skin tint light. I like it to look like my skin though, like my freckles are peeking through, but also you can tell that I'm wearing makeup. You know, with like a skin tint or a tinted moisturizer, it kind of like soaks into the skin and you really can see everything. I like there to be like a light layer. Like I want to look put together, but I like the way it makes my face look. Are you ready for eyebrows? Because that's our next step. Okay, let me just say, there are plenty of eyebrow pencils at the drugstore. There's plenty of makeup at the drugstore. There are plenty of eyebrow pencils at the drugstore. I've only found a few, and honestly, I don't really love them because I have a hard time as a natural redhead, like finding eyebrow pencils that I feel like are the right shade of red. Sometimes they're too orange for me, they're too bright. I have a little bit of like a darker, like auburn color in my red hair. So I really love Anastasia Beverly Hills Caramel, but what I have in my collection right now is the Patrick Ta eyebrow pencil. This is $27. I have the shade Blonde. It is definitely thin to help me create the full brow that I need. I do have my Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Definer. This is $26. And then I do have a little mini of the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Gel. This is $13. So what do we have, like a $40, $50 eyebrow? So I've thought about microblading, but I haven't done it yet. So I'm gonna go ahead and put my $50 eyebrows on and I'll be right back. Okay, well, if you're wondering what $50 brows look like, here you go. There you go, $50 brows. The other thing I like to do is while I'm getting ready, I like to put my foundation on first, but then I like to go in with some kind of like lip balm or something because my lips are really dry. So I've been using this one from Lawless. It is $26 in Pink Marshmallow. I've actually used quite a bit of this. I did not buy this either. This was sent to me from a girlfriend. So thank you. Love that. Give myself some hydration. Then we're gonna go in with concealers. Ideally, I would just have one concealer, okay? But truth be told, I have two right now because I don't have my correct shade. So I do have the Pat McGrath Concealer. This one's $34. This is shade L5. I had L4 before and I liked it and I thought I repurchased L4, but I had L5. And then I had this one from Milani, which is in 115 Light Nude. This one is $10.99, so rounding up to $11. And this one is a little bit too light for me. So I am using two concealers at the moment, so we are calculating two concealers in the price, but just know that if I had one in the perfect color, I would just use one. I actually do want to try a new concealer. This one from Milani is almost gone, and the Pat McGrath probably won't be too far behind it, but I want to try either the Natasha Denona, which is what I'm leaning toward, or the LYS concealer. I'm interested in trying both of those, and I'm interested in both of them because I've heard really good things about both, but also people continue to talk about it. So a lot of times when you hear about new products, people will like rave about them for a minute and then they kind of like fall off, but I feel like people are still raving about them. So I am interested in trying both of those out. If you've tried either, let me know your thoughts down below. The only thing I've heard about the Natasha Denona, and I'm just talking right now because I want to let it set a little bit. I feel like it gives it a little bit more coverage. But the only thing I've heard about the Natasha Denona is maybe the shade range is a little tricky. I think I heard that. So maybe I'll go in store during like the Sephora VIB sale or something and try it out. But I do have dry under eyes, so both of these are hydrating. They don't like dry out my under eyes. I don't have any issues with that. I do like to let it set for a minute, and I do blend it out with a sponge and my Fix Plus. So that's kind of my routine. Not that this is a necessary part of the video, but this is how I blend it out. So I just thought I would throw that out there. Also, while I was doing my brows, first of all, fun fact about me, I love Real Housewives of anything. I watch all of the Real Housewives franchise on Bravo, and I have been following the reunion of the Salt Lake City one. And Heather finally said that Jen Shah gave her the black eye. So while I was trying to get all of this makeup together and figure out the prices and everything, I was watching it, and then I was just trying to like watch that clip while I was putting my brows on. My brows take me forever, but you know, I don't think that anybody was necessarily surprised by that statement. I was surprised that Heather finally came out with it, but I think when that episode was playing, I mean, even her cast was like, did Jen give that to you? But Heather just kept denying, kept denying, kept denying. So it's crazy that she finally came out with it. You'll have to let me know. Do you watch The Real Housewives? Because I watch them all, y'all. I love me some reality TV, and I love me some housewives. Okay, so to set, I do have my Sigma powder. This is the Soft Focus Setting Powder in Vanilla Bean. The price of this powder is $32, but I did not purchase mine. It was sent to me from a friend. I was actually giving birth to my son Quentin when this powder released, but I was interested in trying it out, and a girlfriend had this sent to her in PR. This was before I was even getting Sigma PR, and she was like, I can send you a shade. So I thought that was super sweet and generous, and I was super excited to try it out. I like this powder because it is lightweight, and I feel like it does kind of give like a soft focus effect without mattifying. I don't want a primer. I don't want a powder that's gonna be too matte. I do want it to like set my concealer because I have fine lines and wrinkles, but like I don't want it to be too matte, you know what I mean? Because then it would just like cling to all of my dry patches. And I don't set my whole face. You can see I'm using a sponge because it's damp and putting the majority of it under my eyes. And I do just kind of take it around here too, like with my beauty blender, but I'm not gonna actually powder the whole thing. I will put some on these forehead lines though. I don't know that it helps too much, but it maybe, you know, maybe it smooths them out a little bit. So I'm gonna be honest, this is like the tricky part in the video because I had to pick bronzer, blush, and highlighter. And I do tend to like rotate through my collection. So I was like, how do I do this? I just kind of picked some that I like fall back to. Some that are like go-tos that I just know really work well for me and I enjoy them. So for bronzer, we're gonna go into the Charlotte Tilbury. This is $58. It is the Airbrush bronzer. I do have the shade 2 medium. The light shade is like really light, like super duper light. So this works well on my light skin tone. I'm gonna go in with my BK 103 and I just kind of like, I mean like contour-ish, but like not really contour. You know what I mean? Like I'm just trying to put it in the hollows of my cheeks and build it up a little bit. I have been lately going in with a cream bronzer, but I didn't put that in this video because the only reason why I'm going in with a cream bronzer is literally just because I have it. You know what I mean? More of like a necessity thing than me actually desiring it. I am on like a low buy, no buy journey, which includes not buying cream products anymore because so many people are into creams. Like that's the thing right now. And having dry skin, you would think that would be my jam, but y'all, it's just not. It's just not my jam. It feels like an extra step to me. That's why I was like, well, I'm not really gonna put it in here because I'm purposefully using it. If I didn't have creams in my collection, like when they're gone, I'm not gonna go out and buy more. So that's why I felt like it would be a moot point in this video. But I like this bronzer. You can see it's a matte bronzer, first of all. I like putting down like a matte bronzer and then I'll go in with more of like a sheeny blush, and I do like to highlight. But you can see it's buildable. Like I feel like, how many times can I say like? I was just gonna say it again. I feel like it looks natural, right? Obviously not natural, like someone's gonna look at me and say, oh, her face looks like that. But I feel like it's not standing out. You know what I mean? It's giving me some natural glowiness to the face. So I like that bronzer. There we have bronzer. Going into blush, y'all, I went with my favorite blush formula of the moment. I have several of these blushes. I trade them out. I had to go with my old faithful, Pat McGrath. The Pat McGrath blushes they are divine. The Divine blushes, they are divine. This is the one that kicked it off for me in Nymphette. I feel like when you look at it, it looks matte. I know some of their blushes are matte, more matte, and some maybe have a bit of a sheen. No specks of glitter though, but it's not like a flat matte to me. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like my skin looks good when I put this blush on. So I have several. This is Nymphette. The blushes run $39, and I mean, obviously, if I keep purchasing them, I think they're worth it. If I am going to apply a face product that does have a bit more of a sheen besides highlighter, it's gonna be a blush. I typically prefer my bronzer to be matte because that's kind of what's bringing like life to my face, you know, some color to my face. And the blush, I'm cool with it being a sheen. But you can see here, this one, I don't think it's meant to have a sheen in it. I do think it's a matte blush, but I don't feel like it looks flat matte, right? You also keep in mind, my Glow Recipe Niacinamide Dewdrops are bringing some glow to the face and to the skin. So that's why I love them. It gives me some glow and it just makes my skin look not so dull. But I know I keep looking off to the viewfinder. I hope that's not too annoying, y'all. I'm sorry. It's just, I just can't help it. Like, I'm trying to see what you see, you know? Also, thank you so much to those of you who have been commenting and DMing me and messaging me about y'all liking the new lighting behind me and stuff like that. I always appreciate when y'all give me your feedback. It is so helpful to me. I've had people saying, I love the new lighting, I love the background, I love the things that you're doing, I love this style of video, and that is just so helpful for me as a creator. Also, do y'all do blush on the nose? I did not for the longest time, but I'm kind of into it. I don't contour my nose, so I feel like the blush maybe brings it all together. For highlighter, this is hands down my favorite highlighter. It has been for the longest time. It is the Natasha Denona Super Glow. I have the shade Fair. I love this. This is going to run you $38, but this was a gift from my best friend Smags. She got this for me a couple years ago and I just love it. I take my Sigma F35, my tapered highlighter, and I just apply it on like these high points of my cheekbones, and I kind of bring it up a little bit, do a touch over the brow. I love this highlighter. If you're looking for subtle, this is not the one for you, boo. Okay? This is not your subtle highlighter. This is like, we did not come to play. We came to glow. It's funny because every time I would talk about this highlighter, I would joke about wanting to be like a vampire in Twilight, and now ColourPop did their Twilight collection. And they came out with some jelly highlighters, but I'm not gonna get them because I don't like the jelly highlighter formula. And I really don't get a ton of use out of their Super Shocks either. But, I mean, could I be one of the Twilight vampires with this glow? Okay, so here's the face. Typically, then we go into an eye look. I finish with lips, all of that jazz. Yeah, I guess that's what we'll do. Okay, so for this, I did calculate the price of an eyeshadow palette, but just know there's flexibility here. You know what I mean? There's flexibility in the palette that's going to change depending on what I'm using for the day. Y'all, my camera battery just died. I had to switch it out, and I thought my little remote was not working for a second because it was frozen, and like, my heart stopped for a moment. I was like, how do I autofocus myself manually? I don't even know. Anyway, I was trying to say I have and own and use my eyeshadow palettes and I switch them out. So the price of that is going to change. I have been using my Sigma eyeshadow base primer. This is going to run you $21. I have the shade Ignite. Again, this is something that Sigma did send to me. I do always use an eyeshadow primer, and I do prefer one that does have a little bit of color to it. I would like to see the Ignite be just like a shade lighter, or I mean like have one that's a shade lighter, not necessarily the Ignite. This one is a bit yellow for me. I think they have another one. I've looked it up before. I don't remember the name of it, but I'll probably try that one out. I mean, I have this one and it works, so I'm gonna use it, but I'll probably try that one out, just like a different shade next. I did not calculate this in the price, but I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I do this almost every time too. So I like to set my eyeshadow primer. I'm going in with the Sigma Angela Bright, and I'm gonna take a little bit of this base shade, Bare shade, and set my crease. I do this because I have hooded eyes, and I feel like it gets creasy and hard to blend. So I'm just gonna set that down a bit. I do this pretty much every time I'm creating an eye look. So while I did not calculate this into the cost because I don't know how many other people do that, I'm also gonna take a little bit of this bright shade and put it on the brow bone. I still did wanna show you I was doing this because when I go in with the palette, you know, I wanted you to know it's not fully just that palette on my eyes. Okay, so the palette that I picked for today is this one right here from Sigma. It's their eyeshadow quad in the shade Bonbon. I love these little eyeshadow quads. I thought it would be fun. It matches my BK sweatshirt and it's just cute. I haven't used this one a ton. I'm into like very minimal shade type of situations right now, so I feel like this will work for me. I did not calculate this in the price, but I'm using my Sigma Switch to clean off my brushes between, my son might be waking up here. We're gonna go into this shade right here in Soft. This is my BK201, and we're just going to put that in the crease and blend it out. I'm going for a quick and easy look today. Like I said, going to a 2-year-old's birthday party. Not that you couldn't go in full glam, but let's be real. If you've been here for a while, you know that my full glam is pretty minimal anyway. So we're just going for an everyday Kelly type of look. I'm kind of wondering if my daughter fell asleep. My husband's not home at the moment. He might have come home. I thought I heard him, but he typically wouldn't walk in if he thought I was filming. But my daughter was with my mom, and she likes to come in here while I'm filming, and she'll get on her iPad and just sit on my bed, which is right over there. And so sometimes y'all will hear her like in the background. But I told her, I said, I'm filming. If you want to come in with your iPad, you can. And I'm kind of surprised that she never came in. I mean, listen, it's fine. It gets me moving quicker. But I'm just surprised because normally she is in here asking me to put red lipstick on her. I'm just gonna take my Sigma pencil brush and also this Soft shade and run it right down here along the lower lash line. We're gonna go in with my BK203, my favorite lid brush, and I'm gonna go into this berry shade right here. I will also be spraying my brush with Fix Plus and putting this on the lid. I need to kind of wrap this video up. My son will probably be waking up soon. And then we have, oh, you could probably hear him in the background. Then we have the birthday party. Let's see if this is light enough for an inner corner. I feel like, yeah, right? It's gonna be my inner corner today. You know what y'all can do if you ever feel like your inner corner may be like a touch too dark? I'm just gonna go in with a little bit of my highlight and just kind of like pat it on top. Lighten that up a bit. Okay, cool. So there's the face. What I'm going to do is see if my husband's out there to get my son. I'm gonna apply mascara. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about a lip. And I'm gonna tell you how expensive my face is right now. So here we have mascara on. I am a double mascara kind of gal. I like to go in with volume, so typically my go-to is my Lancome Monsieur Big Mascara. Love this one. Gives you big volume, but it can kind of be a little bit clumpy. So I like to go in with the Benefit Roller Lash, which is lengthening and kind of spread out my lashes, make them a little bit longer. This is my duo right here. The Lancome mascara is gonna run you $30, the Benefit $29. So with my $50 eyebrows, here are my $60 lashes. There's that. Let's go into lip combos. A lip combo that I have been loving is this Lunar Beauty lip liner. This is $14. It is in the shade Milk Tea and it's a beautiful nude. So clearly my pencil needs to be sharpened, but here's the liner. I love it. It's more of like a peachy nude shade. And then I have been pairing it a lot with my Lunar Beauty Laura Lee Los Angeles Lanny lipstick. This was a collab, but this lipstick will run you $14. I do believe it is still available, and this is a pinky nude for the pinky nude lovers. Okay, here is the finished look. Here's my full face. I've been telling you the prices as we go. I probably should have asked you this in the beginning, but before we zoom out and I tell you how much my face costs, let me know what you think it is. Unless, of course, you calculated it along the way, but if you're just guessing, let me know what you think it is down below. All right, friends, this is the moment of truth. The entire cost of my face right now, my full face, my go-to, what I reach for on the daily. Are you ready? This full face of makeup cost me $598. $598. That is without tax. Tax would put us over $600. I took out things like my Auric Glow Lust that I usually mix in with foundation. I don't have any liners. Sometimes I do a black liner to tight line, a nude liner for my lower lash line. Sometimes I go in with the cream bronzer. This is like none of the extras. This was like, I wanted to do like my bare bones, like bare bones face. What do we have here? We don't have a gloss on. What do we have? We have a $600 face. Like, that is insane, y'all. That is insane. I don't know what I thought it was gonna be. I knew it would be a couple hundred. I did not think that it was gonna be $600, to be honest. I didn't. I don't know what I was thinking. I honestly, in my head, feel like I thought it was going to be around $100 and some, but now thinking about that alone, my brows are 50 and my mascara is 60. So I'm like, what was I? Who am I kidding? What was I thinking? I would like to say, I did not get all of this makeup in one fell swoop, okay? If I lost my full face go-to and I had to like go and purchase all new makeup again, y'all, I'm not dropping $600 at Sephora or anywhere like all in one sitting. Like, don't get it twisted. We're not spending that amount of money in one sitting, but honey, my face is expensive. So let me know your thoughts down below. Are you similar? Do you have a lot of these products? Is your face way cheaper? I would love to know. I'm curious. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up here. I have Fix Plus on my watch. We are gonna go to a little birthday party and eat some cake and cookies and celebrate, and that's gonna do it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed before you go. That way I can see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.